Hello, it's Peter Zallam's Griniflix Adventure 8 and welcome to another video. It's always a mystery to see what's in the bag. There's going to be a lens and a camera setup that's not used often, and therefore today is a perfect day to actually do that. And that is the Z6, Nikon Z6 with the Tamron 150 to 600 SP, and this is the G2 version. I've got a great location here. It's a beautiful day. There was some wind, so it's cleared up the day. There's not much haze, and I'm in a good location where I've got some horizons and distance views, and so we can really sort of try out this combination of the Z6 with this really quite an outstanding lens. I think it's pretty good value for money. It has some unique features that makes this lens very practical. There is some weight behind the lens, as you would expect from a lens this size, but it's probably what you expect. I have to use the FTZ adapter, obviously, to use it with the Z6. The thing I like about this particular lens is this collar here that extends, so when it's not in the extended position, then you can change your focal length right up to 600. But whatever length you're at, you can actually lock it in place just by moving the hood, this little collar forward. And I mean, you can still focus, but there's a lot of resistance there. So what that means is that if you choose something in between, like 350, if you hold your lens like that, the lens won't extend automatically. At 150, you can actually lock the lens completely. You got your focusing ring there. You've got a couple of settings here for your focus range. Full focus range is one setting. They'll go from infinity right down to 2.2 meters. You can also choose infinity to 10 meters. But if you want to shoot closer from 2.2 to 10 meters, then you can sort of reduce your focal range for more accurate focusing. You've got AF button and the manual focus button. VC, which is vibration control on and off. This is the main controller, so it overrides the image stabilization, the IBIS that's within the Z6, and it does its own vibration control within the lens versus the IBIS. I suspect it's just what's in the lens that's being used. And then in vibration control modes, you got 3 modes. Vibration control in both planes, I think, is 1, 2 might be for panning action, and 3 might be something else. But anyway, it will be in the video. And that's about it. Alright, so once you put the lens hood on, then it becomes even bigger. Using auto ISO, so it's going to select the ISO automatically. I'll shoot wide open, so depending on where the what I'm shooting, whether it's 150 or 600, will be at f5 or 6.3. So I'll choose 1000, and then the ISO will adjust automatically. I've got manual setting on there as well. Anyway, we'll get on with the shoot, and then we'll be able to compare some notes and see some images as well. I don't have a tripod, I don't have a monopod, so your arm does get tight after a while. You hold it there for a while and then literally want to put it down. So in addition to this lens, I do have an accessory to this lens, which I did buy at the time, same time as buying this lens, and after using it a couple of times I never used it again, and that is the 2x adapter. And there's a reason why I never used it again. Can you guess? At the time I had the D850 and also the D700 and also the D500, or digital SLRs. This is the 2x adapter. When you put the 2x adapter, you would obviously extend your focal length twice. So if you're shooting at 600, it would go up to 1200. The downside is that you'd lose 2 stops of light. At 600, the lens is rated from f5 to f6.3. So at 600, it's at 6.3. And then when you add the 2x adapter, it goes to f13. Well, guess what? None of the digital SLR Nikons can use autofocus when you're when you're shooting at f13. You just can't use autofocus when you're using the 2x adapter. So the question is, will it work with the Z6? Alright, well the light is fading quickly, so I better get on with this test, and we'll put on the 2x adapter, which will make this lens 300 to 1200 millimeter on the Z6. Now when you take these covers off, you can see that it's not just a hollow lens. There are glass elements in here which adjusts the image, and let's see how good it is. You'll be able to obviously review all this in Lightroom. Alright, so first things first, we'll attach on there, and then take that off, and then we'll attach this on there. This converter here only works on the Tamron lenses. You can't use it on any other non-Tamron lens. I think it only works on this one and also another G2 Tamron lens. If I go to 600, which will be 1200, then it's showing that's f13 instead of f6.3. Oh, okay, well, it sort of works. It probably works better than the digital SLR autofocus, but it's not ideal. You still end up doing manual focus, and so at 1200 you're sort of adjusting the focus with your thumb. At least you've got the digital, the electronic viewfinder does help in the focusing, I think. So sometimes it works. I guess when you're at W300, it works fine. Well, I've tried mucking about with the focus settings, so I'm using spot focus right now, and that seems to work better. So that seems to lock in on the focus, which is obviously easier if you're not trying to track something. Well, the sun is going down, it's getting cold again, so I might call it quits. Back into the office. So I'm filming with the Z6 now, so I've just got the lens on the D500 just so I can hold the lens, which is great. I'm pretty happy with the 150-600 zoom Tamron G2. So as you saw in the photographs, I also use the 2x Teleconverter. You can see that. And there's, again, I'll provide some information there. I think it's about 8 lens elements and a whole bunch of different groups. So there's a lot of optics that goes on to try and produce that 2x conversion. Now what I also did is a quick test outside my front door here to see whether you could replicate what you get with the 2x adapter, but just by cropping the image with the same focal length to equate to the effect of the 2x adapter. What happens to the image, what happens to the detail, the contrast, the sharpness, the resolution, and how the two shots compare. So I'll quickly go into Lightroom and I'll just show you that one example so that you can see the impact of that 2x converter. So we have two main shots. We have a look at this one. This is taken at 600mm at f13, 1/160th of a second, and an ISO of 160. So that's our image there, and if we zoom in at 100%, that's what we see. This next shot is also at f13, but with the 2x adapter attached, so hence 1200mm here, as opposed to 600 the previous shot. ISO 140, and the shutter speed is 1/160th of a second. Now what I've done is I've taken a crop of this photo, which is at 600, so just an internal crop like that, so it's the same frame lines as 1200, which is this shot here. What we can do now is have a look at this shot that's been cropped and compare it to the one that was taken with the 2x adapter, and we can have a side-by-side shot here now. So straight away, the things to notice: this is the crop shot, and you notice that there's a lot more background to the cropped shot at f13 than there is 2x adapter at f13. So when we zoom in, we can actually see also the difference in the detail and the clarity and the contrast. So this is the one on the left here, is the 600 cropped to give you a 1200 frame, and this is a 600 with a 2x adapter making it 1200. And so if we zoom around the photo a little bit, you can see that there is a difference in the clarity, in the sharpness. So you can increase the contrast with the 2x adapter in Lightroom afterwards. Also, what I did notice is that if I took this one at 600 here, if I actually shot it wide open at 6.3, so 2 stops faster is more light, and therefore you can then increase the shutter speed to compensate as well, then you'd have a similar blurred background to the one at 1200. So when the lenses stop down 1 stop or 2 stops, I think the sharpness does increase slightly also. But all in all, it's not too bad with 1200. But there is a difference in detail, which you would expect with a 2x converter. Are you any of the wiser? Did this confirm to you that 2x teleconverters are a good idea or a bad idea? Let me know in the comments, comment below. If it's the first time to my channel, then please do subscribe, press notifications. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, really helps. That's how you support the channel, really appreciate it. Alright, well I hope it's been useful. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.